So, 1995, Southpaw Grammar by Morrissey. Very interesting release from what I recall. Here are my brief observations. What was somewhat of a shock was the fact that he bookended this album with two songs in excess of 9 minutes in length. And he got a lot of criticism because neither were received very well. Anyway, I'm going to give my two pennyworth. The opener then, the teachers are afraid of the pupils. It's got a very haunting orchestral flavour to the tune, with Morrissey's vocals arriving half a minute in, and then it's sort of like there's a splendour of nightmarish strings that sort of collide really with his vocals. On closer examination of the lyric, it paints a very grim picture of the fate of teachers, both being afraid of the pupils, but also reprimands from families and authorities. It really does paint a picture of a profession that ain't very attractive whatsoever, and suggested that the majority are dying to get home at the end of the day rather than sort of lush in the splendour of their work. It's all frightfully depressing, it has to be said. Morrison's vocals, of course, present it in a sort of more matter-of-fact way. It's got its appeal. Track 2. These are the lyrics to Reader Meet Author. And just checking if this is working. Yes. Okay, here we go. You don't know a thing about their lives. They live where you wouldn't dare to drive. You shake as you think of how they sleep, but you write as if you all lie side by side. Reader meet author with the hope of hearing sense, but you may be feeling let down by the words of defense. He says, no one ever sees me when I cry. You don't know a thing about their lives. Books don't say them. Books aren't Stanley Nyes. And if a fright broke out here tonight, you'd be the first away because you're that type. And the year 2000 won't change anyone here, as each fabled promise files so fast. You'll swear it was never there. Oh, have you ever escaped from a shipwrecked life? So safely with your software, all miles from the front line, you hear the way their sad voices sings, and you start to imagine things. Oh, any excuse to write more lies. Okay, here we go with track 3, The Boy Racer. Going through the lyrics again. He's just too good-natured, and he's got too much money, and he's got too many girlfriends. I'm jealous, that's all. Have you seen him go, though? Oh. Have you seen him go, though? Oh. Boy racer. Boy racer. Oh. We're gonna kill this pretty thing. Boy racer. Boy racer. Oh. We're gonna kill this pretty thing. He's got too many girlfriends. He thinks he owns the city. He overspends and he never gets pulled over. Have you ever seen him go, though, ho? Have you ever seen him go, though, ho. Boy racer, oh, who's we're gonna kill this pretty thing. Boy racer, ho. We're gonna kill this pretty thing. He thinks he got the whole world in his hands. Stood at the urinal. He thinks he's got the whole world in his hands, and I'm gonna kill him. Middle eight, ho 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 ho. Then chorus, boy racer, oh, we're gonna kill this pretty thing. Boy racer, oh, we're gonna kill this pretty thing. He's just too good looking. He's just too good looking. He's just too good looking. And boy racer, oh, we're gonna kill this pretty thing. Boy racer, oh, we're gonna kill this pretty thing. So track two, then reader meet author, much more typical of this band behind Morrissey. And just to note that the band personnel seems very familiar. I'll just go through it. The personnel: Alan White on guitar and backing vocals, Boz Burr on guitar, Johnny Bridgewood on bass guitar, and Spencer James Cobry on drums. It's a sort of high-powered rock beat that has a pretty ferocious pace, but I like it. And I've always grown quite attuned to this band, who really take care of the instrumental sound solidly, which enables Morrissey to focus on his lyrics and his wonderful voice. Let's be honest, he's got a wonderful voice. This particular song, lyrically, and there will be hordes of lyric sheets, scripts, slides, call them what you will, accompanying this video and in the final edit. And I just want to capture a little bit of this second track, which seems to throw up in Morrissey's eyes the contrast, that's putting it lightly, between those that sort of comment about other people's lives and actually what the real people experience. And he wants to highlight that, and he does so repeatedly with imagery that tends to sort of illustrate passivity versus aggression, really, in some of the lines. For example, books don't save them, books aren't Stanley knives, suggesting that through the metaphor that reality is quite bloody and painful. But anyway, that's track two. Okay, to the Boy Racer, track three, which has a nice sing-along sort of harmony, nice chorus, and again, a very thorough sort of rhythmic pace to the band, with those double guitars sort of meshing together to create a sort of fullness. They're not heavy in the sense of heavy metal, but they're certainly very punchy rock-wise. This song seems to reflect on, maybe through envy or even stronger, perhaps jealousy, the young male who's constantly looking at those in his peer group that seem to be highly successful in pulling the opposite sex and bragging about it. And they also have that four-wheeled gem to display to impress them. And we get a sort of tone, perhaps, of envy throughout about how they seem to acquire all the good things in life through this image, this rather uh, spoilt image. That's my take on it. Anyway, I'll be interested to hear what uh, we're going to what you might think about my comment here. The chorus, we're going to kill this pretty thing, which I'm not quite. I'm sure it's a relative to the boy or the car. So the operation is track 4, and rather unremarkably, it starts out with some ferocious drumming for the first 2.5 minutes, courtesy of Spencer James Cobring, before the vocals and the band join in for this 6.5 minute track. Just a quick glance at the lyrics to see if there's anything very significant here. And there doesn't appear to be any lyrics. Ah, here we are. Again, Morrissey seems to be contrasting adjectives, really. Starts off, you fight with your right hand, you caress with your left hand. He wants to contrast the choices, really, that the human condition has. And some interesting little metaphors regarding, as I say, what path you choose to lead in life, and the notion of the malaise, really, within humanity, which Moser regularly visits and revisits, trying to work out exactly why there isn't more love in the world. So the track sort of really notches up a few takes on its speed and becomes almost a ferocious punk-like crescendo as you move towards the outro, with the drummer once again showing his versatility. It's obviously much better than the capabilities of your average punk band, but it appears to be not quite sure why this style has been adopted. So continuing with Dagon and Dave, it really does get quite repetitious as Morrissey just repeats that Doubleton, Dagon and Dave, a character that he doesn't use very descriptively. It's okay, but not that memorable, to be honest. Not that memorable at all. Do your best and don't worry. Well, another sort of fairly average sort of rock tune. The band are certainly tight. The lyric, has to be said, is a little bit sort of overindulgent, repeating the same message, which is sort of try not to over push yourself to become something you aren't, and just be happy with what you've delivered. Try not to get too self-obsessed. It appears to be the message, but it's hardly riveting stuff. and it's really reminding me of how I perceived this album when it came out. I was hugely disappointed, and it doesn't appear that I'm going to be that impressed 20 years on. So, best friend on the payroll. Another sort of frantically fast rock song that continues the sort of same sort of feel. Um, the lyrics suggest this is uh, an occasion when you invite your friend to stay at your place as a sort of a nice gesture, and uh, it starts to turn sour. The notion of a friend that you see from time to time ain't quite the same as a friend who you see every day from morn till dusk. Things turn sour quickly, and um, a suggestion that you're funding their stay as well is hinted at. But again, a less than memorable piece. So to the finale, southpaw. Of course, if you're not familiar with that term, it usually refers to a boxing style where you lead with your left, as opposed to the traditional lead with your life. It's just a left-handed lead, basically. In this context of this, I enjoyed this track, although it's again quite self-indulgent with the double guitars, and it's got a sort of mystique, reverberated taste to the screeching guitar sounds, but it does appear to be sort of more of a sort of development as the track emerges. It's over 10 minutes long, but to his lyric, it seems to reflect on difference being different, which of course the southpaw is, because he's in a small minority, and the difference is reflected in Morrissey's lyric in being a sort of a bit of a loner and seeking out an equivalent loner who's feminine. That's repeated with the words, "The girl of your dreams is sad and is all alone." Uh, all alone being the succinct message, and also your insecurity in stepping out of childhood to adulthood, and your tendency to escape to the clutches of your mother when faced with any sort of difficulties, particularly at that transition from boyhood to manhood. Well, that's what I think of it. Overall, this album, a bit of a disappointment, really. The band are certainly competent, highly competent, a great rock band. But unlike other albums where they tend to uh, basically take a back seat behind Morrissey's lyric and storytelling, here the tracks lyrically are rather subdued and rather limiting, and so the sound, the instrumental sound, has to demand to be more integral and more of a statement of the overall package, and it becomes a little bit repetitive, and there aren't any gimmicks like keyboards or strings or brass to sort of keep one sort of amused. So I suppose one could basically come to the conclusion that this was a bit of an experiment, particularly with the lengthy tracks, and it didn't really come off. So that's my look at Southpaw Grammar, 1995 release by Morrissey.